What's up everybody, this is Colin Dijs from Debro, and in this video I'm going to show you how we're making over $2,000 per day on ClickBank just with a single account running Facebook ads. So as you can see, it has been quite good for us the last couple of days, even weeks. It has been consistently growing and we're pushing it forward, trying to keep it stable right now and just rake in the profits. So if you're curious on how to do this, keep watching because I will show you exactly what to do when it comes down to creating advertisements, right, for these ClickBank products. So when we run Facebook ads, one of the most important things we start with is the analysis of the categories, right? We need to be able to know which products we are allowed to promote and which ones we aren't. So arts and entertainment is fine. Anything with make money, anything with lose weight, we're going to stay away from. We do not want the risk of getting banned. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually go into one of my favorite verticals lately, which is spirituality. And then I'm going to take the offer numerologist. I have made some videos on this in the past. We've been testing it and it's quite interesting. So once you look at this offer, it will give you an opt-in and they will do basically the monetization for you. A very, very big company behind it. You'll get a video sales letter asking you about the patterns of your astrology sign, the universe, it can explain you things, that kind of stuff. Why I'm choosing this offer is that because the people who are into this kind of stuff are very sensitive to, how would I say it? They're very sensitive to the information being provided by some guide, right? What's important is that you always do the size, right, which is still 1200 by 628 or a 1080 by 1080, but I would prefer to make it 1200 by 628. 1200 by 628 on the custom dimensions in Canva, and what you'll get is you get a wide image. If you would do 1080 by 1080, you basically get a squared image. Then it gives you other features like the ratios involved. I always do this size. However, today I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do the squared ones. And we're going to basically base it on this numerology one. So the main thing we're going to do is we're going to grab these images from Google. So I always get a lot of questions about this. Is this allowed? Is this not allowed? Obviously, these images have copyright, some of them, and at this point, we don't really care that much. I don't know anybody ever from my hundreds of thousands of contacts who ever got into any problems with this, as Google Images is basically quite open source in terms of what you can use. So let's start very basic with numerology and see how far we can go. Okay, so we want something that drags immediate attention, very important. So anything like this would spark some interest, but is too not colorful, right? We also don't want something like this, which is just way too much, right? It's just way too much in your face. This is way too detailed for you to be able to distinguish the pattern, to be able to see what is going on once you're scrolling through your newsfeed. So this one is quite interesting, very attention grabbing, even has some text on it, but I would prefer to have this without text, right? See where it's from. It's actually from Audible, so it's actually a book. That's quite interesting. So this would be the sign, but I would prefer it without a white background. So we're basically going from image to image search, and this one obviously is very interesting. I preferred it with these colors, but this one would definitely work. If we do see more, we basically go down the rabbit hole, and we're basically looking for anything that stands out, everything that has an interesting pattern there. Which I like. Well, let me just save the one I just saw. This one is also interesting, but it's quite intense. A little bit too. Ooh, this one is cool. It is quite intense, but I'm going to save it anyway. Now I want to make maybe a dozen images. This one is too detailed, right? You'll probably not be able to see what this exactly is. This one is cool, but I think it's not the right dimensions. It is quite intense as well. Most of these images, they are quite intense because I think they're supposed to be like wallpapers or something. So they're all quite on the intense side. This one is nice. So usually I just grab a handful of images and then I put them in Canva, because what you'll soon notice is a lot of these are not the right dimension or they're not in HD. They have to be in HD. You cannot let the quality of your ads suffer because you just cannot find the right image. You just have to keep on searching. One good trick I can give you is you go to settings. That's wrong. You go to more. That's also wrong. Why is it? Maybe I have to get rid of this. Yeah, okay. So you go to tools, size, large, and then you get all the large images, which usually is quite a bit easier to adjust them in Canva. But as you can see, it quite limits your search. Let's do zodiac sign, okay? Zodiac signs. Right, now we get a lot of explainers, right? I'm gonna remove the large one. Oh, it's already on any size, okay. Okay, so from the zodiac signs, we're kind of moving away, but look, this is a very interesting image. And I think looking at this size, we are able to cut it perfectly. Look at these recommended images. I love this one. It's HD, it is the right dimension, hopefully, clear. I don't like this one as much, but you never know what the actual pattern might be of interruption. I think it's a little too bright. Let me just look for something else. This one is interesting as well. Every time I look to promote such an offer, I find all these amazing images, and I'm just like, man, this shit is so cool. It just looks so cool. I'm completely not into astrology or anything related to it, but it's quite interesting. All right, so now we have quite a lot of this. I'll just call it numerology plate. Yes, I don't know exactly what it's called, but it looks quite interesting. But we have like 6 of these images lined up. So now we're going to do something with spirituality. Let's do quotes. Let's see if we can get some. Yeah, they're all quite intense in the quotes. We need little text on the image, and these are like too intense. So anything with spirituality, let's do spirituality in general. Okay, so this, what you can honestly see, this is too broad, right? So you might find some good images. In a previous video I've done on this offer, we went down the rabbit hole a little bit on these kind of images and these. But for me right now, for this offer, I would say it's a little too broad. I'm looking for a little bit more detail, a little bit more structure based on the in-depth analysis. So if we go to something like Reiki, which I know is some kind of alternative healing stuff, because I promoted this a lot a couple of years ago for affiliate products, not because I like it, obviously. Let me see if my website is even there. It was called Reiki Point. See, Reiki Point, here it is. That's jokes. That's so funny. This logo was my logo. Okay, that's cool. But anyway, Reiki is basically like hand healing or something. It's like, and they use this logo because it has to do with like chakra and stuff. So let's do chakra. Let's see what we get. Chakra. It's like chakra aura. Maybe it's written like this. Yeah. See? Okay. Now we're getting very much away from the numerology, and these things, they seem, whoa, this one is interesting. They seem to be a whole different type of Kundalini, third eye. This is all kind of, let's go back to numerology and see what is related to that. Numerology, meaning, number, Indian, compatibility, tarot. Okay, so tarot apparently is related to this. That's interesting. Because with tarot we could do something cool. This one is interesting. We just have to cut off like the book cover. Oh, this one is too much. That's a shame. What the fuck is this shit? Tricky. we're discovering a whole new world. But definitely these images are too fake, too weird for us to pick up. Numerology. No, let's go numerology. Yeah, well, the symbol we have, right? Let's do spiritual awakening. So the symbol of spiritual awakening. Because you can do these individually, but I think we would have to do a little bit more research on this for us to make sense, because I don't know what these numbers mean. I don't know what they stand for. Damn, that's intense. And I feel like, look, this is like a mouthpiece. Everybody who's into this kind of stuff is really convinced that it's the real world and it will open up your mind, body, soul, kind of bullshit. But I can definitely respect it. Here, I Ching. It's like some number stuff. And basically, you have to explore. That's all I do. I just scroll, look for something interesting. But you can see on the mainstream thing, like the numerology symbol, we got a lot of images which were very good to use, but it's all the same pattern. Whoa, this one is intense. But if you're basically looking for something else, you would have to hexagram. What's that? Numerology. Whoa, okay. Whoa. This look a little dark. Whoa, this one is cool. The fuck is this? No, this one is cool. Sacred geometry. Here we go a little bit to like Illuminati stuff, right? Triangle with eye inside tattoo. All-seeing eye. Oh, let's do that. All-seeing eye. Is that related to numerology? Let's do numerology angel numbers. Let's do angel by itself. Okay, so now we're getting a little bit back to the original pattern, as you can see here, right? Like here. So right now, here we could potentially find some good images. But we would have to explore. Nope. Angel. I really thought we would get something there. Tool. Let's do a numerology tool. Yeah, you get all the number, like the Excel sheets and stuff, but that's boring. Okay, I guess then we just have to go with numerology straight, like we did from the start, and just scroll. See what we can get. This one is interesting. This is actually like a real woman who portrayed like the numbers around her. I think we can work with this. I think that will work. And they're always, whoa, this one is intense. That's cool, but it's a little fake, but it's cool. There's always good images on any topic. You just have to find them. And I know most of you guys are impatient. You're like, Colin, you're just scrolling on Google. It's been 5 minutes. But that's just how it is. You know, sometimes I spend hours. I just put in my AirPods. I just listen to music. And I just find like these good images. And that's basically the way how I find amazing images. And most of you guys don't. It's just putting in the work. And sometimes, like with the numerology at the start, I find crazy good images in like 2 minutes. And on other ones, it takes 5 hours. But the thing is, what you have to consider is that other people also spend this amount of time or have to spend this amount of time. And most of them won't. So if I find, whoa, it's a little bit HD, but I'll take it for now. Most of these people, they won't spend the time. And what that means is if you do commit the time and you do find the images, other people won't because of the time investment. And time, if you don't have money, you have to invest time. It's that simple. Look, this is the offer. Free numerology report is this one. Okay, let's do astrology, see what we get. Astrology, numerology. No, let's just do astrology. Again, this sign, horoscope. Oh, so apparently it's something to do with horoscope. That's zodiac signs, no? I'm not really too familiar with that world at all. Whoa, this one is cool. This one is perfect. This one is my favorite so far. Look, they have many. Because it's relatable, it's based on you, right? You do like the screening and stuff. Let's go one back and see if we can get more. No. This one is perfect. And they're probably all women, right? So it would make sense to take images of women. Ooh, I like this one, but it's a little too intense. Same as this. When I say it's too intense, you have to imagine, you have to create a scroll stopper. What's that called? It's basically somebody scrolling through their feed has to be brought the image to attention, stop scrolling, and basically get the click. And this is too intense to even see what's going on. She's too big. You don't really see the numerology in the back, and she looks like a famous person in this scene. Sacred Moon. Werewolves. Scary. This one is beautiful image, but I feel like it's more about knowledge than anything else. These guys make good images though, like this niche is like full of great images. Okay, let's go, because we have other things to do. Put in all the images. Then I will teach you my secrets on how to create beautiful images. Okay. Okay, so this one I can already tell it's not going to work. No. So what happens is the attention is gone, right? It had like a dark colors here, then the brightness and the darkness. The brightness itself makes no sense without the darkness, right? You would have to put it like this, but it also makes no sense. So this image, because of the dimensions, just doesn't work. If we had used the horizontal Facebook view, then this image would have been perfect. But we're not, we're working with this, so that's what we do. This one is the same thing probably. Maybe I can make something out of this, because the key thing is this numerology board and her face, right? So the darkness is like a grayscale contrast on her face. So it's not really that important, and this analyzation thing on her face, that's obviously the key component. Now I just need to make it more popping, right? It needs to drag more attention. So what I do is I open the adjustment, and I see if I can make it a little bit more bright, not too much, because then it will fade out. I will increase the contrast. See, perfect. There we go, there we go, there we go. Not too much, because then it becomes dark. You see? So go back a little. Here's the sweet spot. Saturation. Like this. No, 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 no. Put that back, put that back. My bad. Okay, there we go. No blur. I don't think the X will do much here. Nope. Okay, keep it bright. Alright, perfect. The image is so colorful and has like the sparklings around it because I adjusted the things. Usually what I'm doing is I will put a border around it. I will show you, but you will realize, I can already tell on this image it doesn't make sense to do it. So just make sure it is aligned properly. So it's all the same size all around. And then we would either do a neon green, which doesn't make sense here, or a neon red. So the neon red works, but I think it's very powerful without it, right? I think it looks better without the neon one. So this is like an amazing one. I said the other one would be my favorite, but playing around with the contrast of the Photoshop, because Canva is mad basic and free, right? I'm gonna save this one for real. PNG. There we go. Next. This one was supposedly my favorite. Yeah, it is. the signs around it, it just makes sense. Let me see. Okay. But the filters have to make sense, the adjustments. Okay, so we can do something like this, where she becomes a little darker of the grayscale and the icons pop a little bit more, or we can make it more neutral like this. No, I think we should make her darker and pop the icons a little bit more. Not too much, maybe like so. It's a good image. I would just love to have her in color, so I think we need something like a border. Because these images, they are so intense. Usually we either use like a circle, like this, but here it doesn't make sense, right? Because the image is just so tremendously busy. We use an arrow like this, but I can already tell you it doesn't make sense because the image is so intense. See? So you would have to use a border. The issue with the border is, though, these images already scream attention by being so colorful, being so bright, having so many elements in it. Yes, the border works, just like the other one. I suppose in green it doesn't work. Nope. And in hot pink, which is one of my favorite ones, it works, but the red one is definitely the best one here, right? I wouldn't run it without the border, to be fair. I'm gonna change my opinion. I think with the red border it's the best. It's definitely the best. Okay. So we have two of the girls. Now I'm going to do this one, if it makes sense. Yes. It's quite intense. I don't really know what it means. So copy related, you would first have to investigate. This doesn't need anything, right? You can just download this as is. With a border, it wouldn't make sense. It's too bright and powerful by itself. This woman, I think we'll just get the woman, not really the numbers. I'm a fan of the contrast because you can see her really well and the numbers in the back not so much, right? But it's a little too vague. It's really too basic Photoshop, I would say. It's Photoshop done well, right? Because you can definitely see it's done well. But the numbers should grab a lot more attention for it to be a good image. Yeah, this one is great. You cannot really see perfectly, it's a book, but the image is good. See, simple, you don't have to do much edits on this one. It's bright, it is attention grabbing by itself. I think we had a couple of more images. That one, that one, that one, that one. Okay, this one. Let me just upload all these and see which one I already had. Okay. So this one is definitely interesting, but it's not HD enough, you see? This one is obviously the way wrong dimensions. That's a very interesting image. This one is also the wrong dimensions. Maybe not. Yes. It doesn't say that much. It's not that good. Wrong dimensions. It's very big as well. See? So I would have to look for this image in a reversed image search, but smaller. So you can imagine, right? So we took maybe 11 images in total, 10, whatever, 9, and we added up with like 2, 3 good images. So you have to rinse and repeat, and this is only just for one offer, numerology, on the most obvious search term, numerology, astrology, right? So you can expand it way more, what I did a little bit, into the Reiki scene, into the number scene, into the tarot scene. However, as I don't know much about this product, it's a little bit of a wild goose chase. But this is basically how I do my images, and this is basically how we achieve these great numbers on ClickBank using Facebook ads. Over $2,000 per day consistently by basically making simple images and putting in the work. If you have any questions, please leave them for me down below, and I'll see you in the next one.